Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 8th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, Hawaiian Islands way to the bottom left down here, and you can see the ridge building off the west coast of North America. It's really going to warm us up and bring us a nice stretch of weather here as we go towards the early portion of next week. But we do have the potential return of a couple weak systems in there, mainly for British Columbia, trying to clip into Washington and trying to suppress our temperatures a bit. We'll dive into those details here as we go through the video this morning. You can see the storm system across some of the northern plains spinning back into Montana and portions of Idaho here. There's still some blizzard warnings, some strong winds. So heads up if you're traveling out of the sunny skies of Washington and Oregon back towards the east. You're going to run into some winter driving conditions across the Rockies rather quickly here, bringing some beneficial precipitation to much of the state of Montana and some of Idaho, Wyoming here, and up towards Alberta as well. If we take a look at the Doppler radar, again, you can see that storm system out there in the mountain snows with it and trying to spread some moisture back even across portions of western Idaho into eastern Oregon here. But for the most part, we're really going to be ramping up this ridge here over the Pacific Northwest. The storm system will finally kick out here over the next couple of days, and we're going to have some pretty lofty temperatures that we're going to look at here in a moment. And just a reminder out there, be a little careful when you're just jumping back into the water just because it's 85 degrees or it gets towards 90 degrees there in eastern Washington. These waterways are going to be extremely cold, and even experienced swimmers can lose muscle control very quickly. And watch out for the fast flowing water as well. So the air may be warm, but the water is cold. Nice stuff here from the Spokane National Weather Service. Taking a look at Spokane, look at this, 82, 81. Look at Wenatchee, 90, 86. Omak, 89. Moses Lake, 89. Grand Coulee 88. We're really going to be ramping things up this weekend. What a glorious weekend we have on tap. Then we're going to start to moderate those temperatures here, and they're going to have some kind of a westerly flow here that I'm going to show you in the weather models as well. And some troughing tries to move back into the area. So it's going to suppress our temperatures a bit, but no major cool down looks imminent right now. And this is for western Montana and portions of Idaho Panhandle. You can still see there's some winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. There's even some blizzard warnings out there as well. So heads up for those winter driving conditions. It does include Great Falls and the winter weather advisories here as well. I went to school in Montana out there to become a National Weather Service weather observer. And if we look at portions a little bit further east, this is for Great Falls. And this does include the blizzard warning here. Again, across the higher terrain, just outside of Helena, there's still winter storm warnings here. So heads up for that. And day one thunderstorm outlook, you can see just right now, western Wyoming. And as we go through tomorrow, you can see it does include portions of southeast Idaho. Taking a look at Portland, Oregon. Actually, right now, we still have some frost advisories out there for a lot of the Willamette Valley, some of the valley areas here as well. But you can see warming up, and we'll look at those temperatures here in a moment. Southwest Oregon, there's still some freeze warnings out there. But again, after a couple days, this is going to be a distant memory as we really start to ramp up the temperatures. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Great smartphone app, stores all the data for you in the cloud, all solar powered, highly recommended. Taking a look at the Doppler radar, just kind of showing you the spin of the system out here across Montana, and that's going to be kind of wrapping up here and trying to pull away as we go on into the day Thursday. Still see some thunderstorm activity well off to our south and east, but the big story here is we're really going to dry out across Pacific Northwest. You can see Seattle, Portland, BC, Vancouver Island, not expecting any precipitation as we go through Friday morning coming up here. That's going to remain the case as we go through the weekend. Then we're going to try to move some systems in here into British Columbia that's going to try to suppress some of our temperatures. But now taking a look at that at 500 millibars, this is the North American map. You can see Alaska, Washington, Oregon here, and there's a GFS on the right. So if I put this into motion, you can clearly see this ridge. Look at this dominating ridge here over us as we go through Thursday afternoon. Here's Friday. We're going to remain quite warm all the way through Saturday and probably one more warm day Sunday at least. And you can see there's going to be this battle between this troughing here across some of southern Alaska coastline and some of this ridging out across Pacific Ocean. It's a pretty powerful westerly zonal flow. No doubt it's going to be bringing some precipitation back into western BC, but how far will that extend south? And pretty good model agreement between the GFS on the right and the European on the left. And if we scroll through here, you can continue to see that trough is going to be trying to make some headway down here. But how strong will this ridge be? You can see a little bit of differences start to emerge as we go through Monday night coming up here. Now taking a look at Seattle Tacoma International Airport. As we go through the day Monday, see a little bit of precipitation starting to show up here with one of those systems coming across into western BC. We'll continue to monitor that and see how this trends over the next few days. But we have several days here of very nice weather as we go through this weekend coming up. Now, this is 5,000 feet. You can see the system out here kind of moving through, and then the anticyclone, the clockwise rotation there, our big dome of high pressure setting up over the Pacific Northwest, really going to warm things up as we go through the weekend. And then you can see that system trying to clip through here into BC and into Oregon here as we go through the day Monday, with the ridge right off the coastline here and the troughing across some of the Gulf of Alaska. Now, taking a look at 500 millibars, I'd like to show what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is wind speed. You can clearly see this nice dome of high pressure here with the stronger westerlies well up towards southeast Alaska. And then you see we start to bring these winds back down in here, kind of what's known as a dirty ridge a little bit, kind of setting up here where we're getting clouds over the top of this back into the area. So again, we'll be watching that to see how that trends and see just how many very warm days we're going to get out of this stretch upcoming. If we look at the National Planet models for the latest, this is today. This is going to be nice and glorious here across western Washington, Oregon, eastern Washington. A lot of sunny skies out there already, and we were only, I think, towards 60 degrees yesterday. I think I checked that here in a minute, but you can see that this is going to feel quite nice because it's going to be sunny skies out there. And as I scroll through and go through Thursday, we got 73, some 80 showing up for the Willamette Valley, all the way up into the Fraser River, southwest BC, warming up quite nicely. Then look at Friday. Look at some of these ridiculous temperatures showing up. You're talking about mid-80s potentially for western Washington, and some upper 80s maybe for portions of the Willamette Valley, upper 80s for eastern Washington. Saturday here again, 82 degrees, maybe another very warm day. And then Sunday we start that gradual cool off here as that next system may try to swing through. But still some nice temperatures out there. It shouldn't be too chilly or too stormy as we go through next week. At least is how it looks right now. But we will be revisiting that here on a daily basis. And now, yes, we will be looking at Portland. You can see the 7th hasn't filled in yet yesterday, but we average about 68 degrees for this time of year. And Portland could be touching some of the upper 80s here as we go towards the weekend here, and maybe getting close to some of these record highs. They're going to be hard to get to, as you can see. Back in 1971 on the 11th, 91 degrees. Back on the 12th, it was 2023, 90 degrees. And look at that 3-day stretch there of last year, if you remember that one, 90, 93, and 92 for Portland, Oregon. If we look at Seattle, we have I think this is Sunday for 82. I don't know that we're going to get there for that. Looks like Sunday is cooling off a bit here. So we're probably not going to set any record highs for Seattle, but definitely a warm stretch incoming here. Now, if we take a look at Seattle, average high this time of year, you're talking about mid-60s with temperatures well up into the upper 70s, maybe even touching 80 degrees, and then back towards normal, but we'll be watching that as we go through the next few days. Taking a look at the GFS, look at what it has for Seattle. It continues to show these very warm temperatures here. And as we get closer to these events, sometimes these days will trend warmer. So we'll see what's going to happen here. But the GFS likes things to warm up quite dramatically across some of the Puget Sound. And this is Spokane, similar picture there, when dropping back down towards normal temperatures in the extended. Portland, something similar as well with the European. Probably underdoing some of these temperatures. You're probably going to be looking at upper 80s for probably Friday and Saturday for Portland, Oregon. If we look at Bend, Oregon here as well, you can see the warm up here, not extremely dramatic, but definitely above average as we go on into next week. Boise, Idaho, something similar there. Now, if we take a look at total snow, I just want to kind of pass this along here. That this is going through the next 10 days. Kind of get the picture here. We get a little bit of a system. The National Planet Models wants to show the mid portion next week, but that isn't much here. So we're really reducing the amount of snow when we get these systems this time of year. You know, it's just much more tough to get these big snow events across the Cascades once you start getting into the second half of May, especially, and on in through June. You can still get them, but you know, the winter season is definitely over here, folks, and the big snows are a thing of a distant memory. If we take a look at total precipitation in inches over the next 10 days here, let me put this into motion, and you can see that maybe a weak system as we go through next week, as all the National Planet Models is showing. Better chances for precipitation, which is pretty typical for this time of year across western British Columbia here, but you can see Oregon not picking up much over the next 10 or 11 days. And this is the 6 to 10 day forecast here. Should come as no surprise, above average temperatures all the way through May 17th. Here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, dry, below normal here. And this just kind of tells you the odds of being below normal. It doesn't tell you how much you're going to be below normal. So we have that signal there. there for below normal precipitation. We're already starting to dry out pretty well here across the Pacific Northwest this time of year also. And this is the 8 to 14 day, kind of that bullseye here across the western portions, and still that below average signal as we go through May 21st. And something cool here, there's actually this year's drought monitor meeting here will be held in Victoria, British Columbia here, NADM. And you can view the agenda here. For some reason you want to attend here, the North American Drought Monitor Forum in British Columbia, May 14th through 16th. Probably not too late to become, get involved in that. So anyway, percent of average precipitation over the last month. So you can kind of see how that system that we had, the wraparound moisture, actually hit portions of eastern Oregon a bit better, it looks like. And we can still see over the last 30 days, a lot of eastern Washington, some of the east slopes of the Cascades have been below normal here in some of western Washington. But some of Oregon has been doing better. And that's kind of been the theme as we went through the winter months as well. They did better snowfall amounts also. And so we're kind of well below normal here in northern portions. A little bit better for Oregon, but some areas did drop below normal as well. But anyway, yeah, enjoy this weather coming up here, folks. I mean, it's just glorious out there, especially areas west of Idaho right now. Still dealing with the storm, but as you saw, it's going to drop off to the east here, and we're going to warm up much of the region as we go through the next few days. So get out there and enjoy it. No doubt we're going to have some troughing that'll be rolling back through here at some point in May and on in through June, as we often do. But yeah. I'm going to get out there and try to enjoy that. I got to work a couple more days here, but I will be out and about trying to get some vitamin D from Mother Nature there and the sun the best I can. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Click like and subscribe. We will do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.